Hi friends, welcome to this hand rant. Yes, okay, we're back. Yeah, this is gonna be a longer hand rant. Now that I'm coming out of the abyss of life change, and it's only been just over a week, and I'm feeling much better. Um, However, I've been doing a lot of reflecting and a lot of thinking about everything. And yesterday, I smoked a joint. Yeah, I did, and it was great. I actually only had 2 puffs of this joint because it's so incredibly strong nowadays. And then I just left it burning kind of like a smudge, which reminds me I need to message my friend Matt, talk to him about a smudge. But I was thinking a lot about the last 5 years because I definitely did not see things going the way that they have and the change that has now occurred. I didn't expect that. I thought I was actually, to be truthful, I thought I was going to get handed a check for $80,000 because somebody saw the value of the businesses that I was creating on this piece of property, part of this agricultural cooperative. And yeah, I thought somebody would be like, I fucking love that idea. Oh my god, yeah, let's do it. Here's some money. I'll take over for you. And I'm like, cool, see you in Thailand. Bye. Costa Rica, wherever, Japan, Vietnam. I got a whole list of places. Nicaragua is on there. Chiang Mai, Thailand specifically. But okay, so anyway, that didn't happen. No. So I was part of that project for 5 years. The last 2 years, I have been recouping my costs, my initial investment. I've been recouping those costs, and as of this summer, um, August, I had recouped my cost. So at that point, I was good. And then I started to really think about the progression of things and how I want to see things going. And you know what? Sometimes that does not align with people that you choose to work with. So choose who you work with very carefully. That is such an important part of business that I will take with me moving forward when I do eventually open up some really cool businesses somewhere down the road. I don't know, I might be retired by then, and these would just be something to do for fun. But I know now how important business, choosing your business partners carefully is. So now, moving on to the next stage. About a week and a half ago, I said, no more. I'm done. Wiping my hands clean. And as you have seen in some of the rants that I have put up here, it's hard. You go through these cycles of grief. And with grief, there comes anger, fear, sadness. It's crazy that I'm making this. And then I just get a text message from somebody I haven't talked to in a week. So, yeah, anyway. Okay, threw me off. Let's come back in. Okay, so with grief, the waves of grief. There's this really beautiful saying that grief is like a river, and all you can do is jump in and go along for the ride because you know that eventually it's going to bring you onto calmer, more peaceful shores. And that's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes you're up here, sometimes you're down here, and you just got to go with it. You have to go through all the ebbs and flows of transition and change because that's just how life is. We signed up for this shit. You signed up for this shit. I signed up for this shit. Um, so we just got to go with it. So with the transitional period for the last week and a bit, just wrapping my mind around the fact that like this is the reality now, I'm very excited because I got a really great opportunity to work with kids teaching yoga at a pretty like prestigious place here on Vancouver Island, and I'm pretty stoked about it. I start next week, or this week, I guess, Thursday. Um, so yeah, it's a really cool transition place to go, and we'll see where things go from there. Um, I am so when I was smoking my joint. So now that you're all caught up to where we're at now, okay. So I was smoking my joint yesterday, and I always take a journal or something out, and I write a bunch of shit down. Just a bunch of shit. down. And yesterday, this is what I wrote. Let's be real. It sucks to fail. And I know we aren't supposed to say that word anymore because that's just not okay, right? It's you're learning and it's a process and it's nothing is a failure, nothing is a waste of time. It's all about learning. It's about the journey, not the destination. However, when you have a goal in mind, that $80,000 check, and you don't obtain those goals, it may feel like a failure. You know, I had this goal in mind so clearly. I could even see the white Mercedes or BMW, something like that, that drove up. And you know what's crazy? It did drive up. And this beautiful woman would get out and buy the orange juice that I used to make, and then she would leave. So it did come. However, she did not bring a $80,000 check, and that's totally fine. But I could see it so clearly in my mind that this was going to happen, you know? And then now it's not yet. But it's not there. It's not going to happen at community farms. It's not going to happen with the project that I've been working on the last 5 years. And to a certain degree, that does feel like failure. You know, it feels like this tangible goal that I wanted to obtain so badly was just like ripped out from under me, and I did that myself. Let's keep that in mind. Nobody did that. I chose to leave. I chose to make these steps for myself. But it just doesn't mean that it doesn't suck, and that it doesn't mean that it's not hard, because it has been. But it was like, honestly, one of the most difficult decisions I've had to make yet during my journey and my process of my life was to say no to things that just weren't working for me anymore. And my businesses were working for me. I fully supported myself throughout the summer. I have been full on entrepreneur this whole year so far, 2025, and now I'm going into September and I'm getting a different job now. So, like, I'm proud of myself. I recouped my initial investment costs into this project, and like, I'm fucking proud of myself. So, it isn't really a failure. However, it just didn't turn out the way that I wanted. And yeah, it's the whole purpose of this rant today is to remind you, as I remind myself, as I express a bit more of my story and where I'm at, is that all of this is part of the process, and we really do not have a fucking clue where different roads or ideas or passions or curiosities are going to take us, but we just have to fucking try, you know? And we don't have to hold on so tight either, okay? That's another thing. We do not have to hold on so tightly, because that indeed creates so much more suffering in our lives. When we go with the flow and we ebb and we flow and we don't push so hard and we don't hold on so tightly, you know, things are different. Just kind of like seems to fall into place. And I know this, and you know this. We all know this. We all know that we don't need to force things, that we don't need to try so hard. We don't need to try so hard. We don't need to try so hard. Okay. But that doesn't mean not doing your best. Always do your best. But maybe you just don't have to try so hard to do your best if you're in the right and nurturing environments where people can respect you and see your gifts and what you bring to the table. Okay. Before I end this rant, there's one more thing I wanted to say. I'm still having troubles wording this the way that I want, but I invite you to see the value that you bring to every single room you step into, every opportunity that you have to try something new or to work with different people. Just see the value that you have, because you are the value. You are the value. And this is a concept that I'm trying to sink into my mind. And I say it to myself every day, like, I am the value. I am the value. I am the value. And this isn't like like conceited or self-absorbed thing. It's like recognize the skills that you have, use them wisely, choose where you want to use them wisely. Recognize the skills that you have, choose where you want to use them wisely. And if you're not appreciated or respected or heard or valued, don't stay, because you are the value. Okay, I think that's it for today. Until next time, be kind.